All right, we continue our live coverage tonight. Let's focus on that big GOP Senate race in the state of Kansas.
KMBC 9's Emily Hallwick is live in Pawnee Rock, Kansas, right outside Great Bend. And Emily, we mentioned the president has congratulated Roger Marshall on his win.
That's right, Laura, he has, and we're actually going to let you listen to that in just a couple minutes here. But I wanted to say that it's been just over an hour now since Dr. Roger Marshall did come out here and declare his victory to loud cheers and celebrate. And of course, the mood has been one of elation really all night here in Barton County, Kansas, because he pretty much had the lead since the vote started rolling in, and that lead just kept widening and widening. And so ultimately they were able to make that determination that the race was called. I'll step out of the way here. He actually is still here taking pictures, posing with his wife and with supporters, some of his campaign staff. When he spoke to the crowd, he talked about the importance of keeping the Republican majority in the Senate in November. He invited everyone to join their team, saying that with so much at stake this fall, the party needs to be united to claim victory. Take a listen.
To beat Barbara Bollier, to beat the Democrats, we have to be one team here. And that you will find that we have way more in common than what divides us. I've always believed in this iron sharpening iron. And boy, I tell you what, after this primary, our swords are sharp and our shields are thick.
He's already talking about what comes up in November.
And you mentioned, Laura, that President Trump did call Dr. Roger Marshall today, and our cameras were rolling as that conversation took place. Take a listen.
Well, I want to congratulate everybody and Roger. That's an incredible race. And that's something. Now we have to win the one on November 3rd. We have to win a couple of them on November 3rd, come to think. But congratulations to everybody. That's a big night.
You can hear there, it was certainly an exciting moment for Dr. Marshall and his campaign, his supporters here to hear President Trump pledging his full support in November. Now, Dr. Marshall said he will be up before dawn tomorrow, as he typically is. He said he's ready to hit the ground running and start this campaign for the election that is now just 3 months away. Reporting live in Barton County, Kansas, Emily Hallwick, KMBC 9 News.
All right, let's go to KMBC 9's Matt Evans in Leavenworth with the Chris Kobach campaign, and less than an hour after he gave his concession speech. Matt?
Well, Laura, Chris Kobach did mention earlier before we spoke to him before those results started coming in, and talked about how important it was going to be to unite the Republican Party together after a very aggressive and tenacious primary battle. And that was the first thing he said in his concession speech, that he talked to Roger Marshall, said he pledged him his full support, and also said to all of his supporters in this room here in Leavenworth that they need to get behind Roger Marshall as the Republican candidate for this open U.S. Senate seat being vacated by Pat Roberts. Many people have said that the U.S. Senate majority could very indeed run through Kansas, which is again why Kobach is now trying to get all of his supporters behind Roger Marshall in a face-off against Democratic candidate Barbara Bollier come November 3rd. Of course, one thing that we've seen in this GOP primary was just how much outside spending there was. Millions and millions of dollars from PACs poured into this campaign, also trying to paint Kobach as too conservative, and that was something that Kobach believes was something that really did play a big role in him losing this election tonight. But he did talk about that a little bit during his concession speech, just how hard and how difficult and how aggressive this campaign was.
I just want to, paint the picture here for what we're up against, and there's no question, no election is easy. But this is certainly has been the toughest primary election of my career, and indeed, I would say the toughest many people have seen in Kansas.
Kobach said tonight that it's unclear whether or not he'll run in the future for a seat. He, of course, lost the 2018 gubernatorial election to Laura Kelly, now losing the 2020 GOP primary to Roger Marshall. Live in Leavenworth tonight, Matt Evans, KMBC 9 News.
All right, let's stay in this race. Johnson County, Kansas plumber Bob Hamilton, of course, made a name for himself on TV and business for years, and certainly added to that on TV in this particular campaign. There's our Len Jennings at the Bob Hamilton party tonight in Lewisburg. And Len, it's interesting because Bob Hamilton at last report had loaned his campaign something in the neighborhood of about $3.5 million to his campaign. Final numbers aren't in yet, and he only got 19% of the vote tonight.
And that was his own money that he was putting into this campaign. Of course, the plumber turned politician, somewhat of a wild card in this race in the Republican primary. Bob Hamilton losing tonight to Roger Marshall in the primary of the Republican Party for the U.S. Senate. You can see some of his supporters as well as Bob Hamilton inside still hanging out. Most of his family members are here hanging out still, just even more than a half hour the news came down. He gave a concession speech earlier today, surrounded by his family. He was very, very emotional, but he also wanted to congratulate the victor.
Love to congratulate Roger Marshall. I think he'll do a fine job up there, and he needs to beat the Democrat. We have to keep this seat red and fight for conservative values. So congratulations, Roger Marshall. I did try to call you, but I think you were probably partying, and I probably would be too.
We wanted to ask him about his political future or if there is one for Bob Hamilton, but he did not want to talk to the media after his concession speech, so of course that is unknown for now. Reporting live in Lewisburg, I'm Len Jennings for KMBC 9 News.
Let's check in with our political reporter, Michael Mahoney, for analysis. And what an interesting evening and early, Michael.
Surprisingly early. A lot of people, including me, did not think it would happen this way, especially the Senate race where they thought that the turnout would be substantial in that, and because there were so many mail-in ballots or actually advance ballots requested by mail, they thought that this would string out. It did not happen this way. The Marshall campaign impressively won in Johnson County, and that was a place where they were conceding that they might finish as low as 4th just a couple of days ago, so that was most pleasant surprise. We don't have returns in yet from Sedgwick County, which was supposed to be a battleground, but Marshall is racking up a double-digit 12-point victory that nobody saw coming. The poll that everybody was discussing was a National Republican Senatorial Committee campaign poll that had Marshall up 33-30 over Kobach coming down this race. And then with all that third-party money that was being expended in this, that was also an indicator that the outside groups thought this race was up for grabs as well. Chris Kobach called all that outside money a withering attack against him during the campaign that he just couldn't overcome. The Senate Leadership Fund, the Plains PAC money, Kansas PAC, and then Democrats coming in going after Roger Marshall as well. It was very difficult for him, and it was a hill too steep for him to climb. Back to you folks.
All right, we're also watching numbers tonight from the Kansas GOP primary in the 2nd Congressional District, where the incumbent Steve Watkins lost tonight, having faced vote fraud charges. A big win for the state treasurer, Jake LaTurner, in this race.
And let's go to Bianca Beltran, who has just spoken to Jake or is joining him live. Bianca?
We are here with Jake LaTurner live now, and early on tonight from the first precincts reporting, we saw that you had a lead. What do you see the message is from voters based on how they voted tonight?
We think voters want a consistent representative, someone that is going to represent our values well, and someone that can keep this seat in Republican hands. And we feel good about the ability to bring this party together and to go into the November elections very strongly.
And it was a tense election with the incumbent facing a number of challenges. As early as this morning, he was continuing to criticize your voting record and distinguish himself as, how did he put it, a life of service versus self-service. How do you respond to a comment like that?
Well, as your viewers know, politics can, especially when we get close to elections can get kind of crazy. I received a call from Congressman Watkins a few minutes ago, very gracious, willing to help bring this party together to support us in November, and so I take him at his word. We feel very confident that we're going to be able to do that and give voters a very clear choice in the November election.
Now moving forward, seeing that Michelle De La Isla is the Democratic nominee, what are you focusing on for the November election?
I represent common sense Kansas values, and we are going to work hard for every single vote in this district and share our message. The mayor of Topeka is endorsed by Elizabeth Warren and supported by Nancy Pelosi. Those aren't Kansas values, and we think that voters are going to understand that choice, and we feel confident that we're going to be able to win in November.
So a night of celebration tonight, but the beginning of another round of elections.
Back to work tomorrow, absolutely.
Anything else you want viewers to know?
No, we're just so humbled and so grateful for those that supported us, and look forward to working hard to earn votes as we move along in the next few months.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And there you heard Jake LaTurner speaking after this race for the 2nd Congressional District in Kansas called for him. Reporting live in Topeka, I'm Bianca Beltran, KMBC 9 News.
And we also heard tonight from the Topeka Congressman, Steve Watkins.
And here's part of his concession speech.
I just got off the phone with Treasurer LaTurner. I congratulated him on his victory tonight and wished him well in November. I personally would like to be a part of Republican unity and success this November.
Tonight's Republican winner, Roger Marshall, will face State Senator Barbara Boyer, who won the Democratic primary tonight. And she's from Johnson County. She spoke to her supporters virtually.
Here is what concerned me so much as we all watched the other side's primary campaign. It was a contest for unwavering allegiance to a political party rather than a thoughtful discussion about what Kansas needs to beat this virus and dig out of this recession. I have never hesitated to disagree with my party or hold them accountable here in Kansas, and I'll never hesitate to do the same in Washington.
And as we mentioned moments ago, on the Democratic side there in the Kansas 2nd Congressional District race, the mayor of Topeka, Michelle De La Isla, is the winner tonight, going away. No problems here against James Winholtz, who is a University of Kansas grad student and an instructor there. A race where you will see the Democrat in this one very well funded and will probably give Jake LaTurner all he can handle as we are now in a 90-day sprint to November.
November 3rd. Let's take a look at the Kansas 3rd District House race. This covers Wyandotte, Johnson, and portions of Miami counties. And Amanda Atkins, the retired Cerner executive, has been declared the winner there against Sarah Hart-Weir and Mike Beeler. Now, the winner of tonight's GOP primary, well, who we know is Amanda Atkins, is going to go against Congresswoman Sharice Davids for her seat.
And you see our Kelly Eckerman there live in Overland Park with, again, some of the GOP hopefuls in that 3rd congressional primary race tonight. Kelly?
Right, and the watch party here in Overland Park is starting to thin out, but of course it is a night of celebration for Amanda Atkins. She has already given her acceptance speech, and she's obviously the voter's choice to take on Sharice Davids in November. And in fact, she had some strong words for her opponent.
Sharice, you are now officially on notice. You've been challenged to 3 debates. Again, thank you to all of you. I am so grateful to your support. I'm Amanda Atkins, and I am now your Republican candidate for the 3rd Congressional District.
Now, I just got done talking to Atkins. She tells me she expects this to be a very challenging race. She is ready to get back to work, and she is ready to get back to fundraising. And again, we'll be seeing a lot more of her in the coming weeks. This is expected to be a race to watch. Back to you.